Those who are my regular subscribers, you already know who I am. Target individual CJBK. Those of you who don't know this YouTube version of myself, you already know me as Chris James. So, yeah, today was interesting. Well, first thing off, give God all the praise. Give God all the praise, man. Cause when I tell you that they out here, they out here in plain sight, hiding within, the Wi-Fi, frequency bandwidths that's everywhere. That's why they can't be found, because they're hiding within, the Wi-Fi frequency bandwidth. So it's like, no matter what, they're not gonna come out and be overt. They're gonna stay covert. Why? Because they gotta get away with what they're doing, right? But like I said, give God all the praise. And just as I said that, I felt the chill go right up my spine. And I'm not even talking about that bad chill. I'm talking about that good one. So this is how I know God is about to lead me through these words right now. Because I've already accepted, the world for what it is. And I've already accepted humanity, or at least part of humanity, for what it is. And I think God always wants us to accept the fact that, the moment that you were born into this world, the moment that your heart is beating in your mother's womb, you are to be trained to accept the fact that no matter what, you're going to have to come across this fork in the road where you're either going to be good or you're going to be bad, And, even on that first fork in the road, you're going to come across even more forks, because God always gives you options and opportunities to basically try to do your best to keep his commandments. Now, I've never been a violent person, but I've definitely I've indulged in some vices. I used to let's just say I've experimented with drugs. Nothing too crazy. I never did crack. No, never did crack. Never did heroin. Never did, meth. Never did any of those hard drugs before. Yeah, I was promiscuous. Growing up, especially in my teens and my 20s. Yeah. But how many people weren't, but that doesn't make you a bad person. I never lied to get with anybody. I never purposely tried to make myself a victim in anything, because for the most part I've always, like my mother said, I've always, I take mine. If I've done something wrong and I get caught, I take mine, But this stuff that not just me, but so many people are going through, and I think so many people are going along with, because they don't want to go through my side of the coin. This is some real evil stuff, though. This is like, if you've been watching my Facebook today, you've probably seen me go through an onslaught of just putting out facts after facts after facts. And, TED Talks where people are saying the same exact thing. And I've never seen those videos before until today. That's God right there, that I've never seen those videos, but to actually watch videos from 5, 3, 13 years ago where someone is talking about the same stuff I'm talking about right now. I just got more chills. This stuff has been going on for decades. And, you know, I don't, and I could hear the secret society out there honking. They always honking like some type of special code or whatever. It's like a Morse code, you know. But anyway, it is funny because, you know, here, while I'm living here in Brooklyn, my window isn't by the street. That's the funny part. So it's like, even though they're out by the front of the building that way, you know, they're still communicating. You know, they're still, of course, they're always going to be watching me. They have my resonant frequency. So no matter where I go, they're following me. You know, no matter what I do, they're going to be listening. They're going to be watching. You know, and they're not the government. I've learned that already. They're not the government at all. My perps aren't the government. I don't know about everybody else's, but my you know, gang stalkers, electronic handlers, they're not the government. They're not law enforcement. They're, I mean, for lack of better words, I just call them black hat hackers who basically upgraded from normal street shit, you know, normal street shit that I'm used to seeing, normal shit that I don't really, you know, even pay no attention to, normal shit I don't even concern myself with. You know, if I go in, the most I ever do is I'll probably, you know, what if I ever like got something off of somebody, it was probably weed. That's about it. That's probably the most I ever did. You know, but I ain't no, you know, nah, I never really got myself into anything crazy. Never scammed anyone. Never, wanted to be a part of a scam or anything. I mean, I don't judge anybody because, I do my own shit. I just do different shit, but I don't judge nobody. Now these people that's spreading their slanders, because I went out for a smoke earlier today and I heard somebody say he's the one snitching on the whole secret society, and I'm like, first of all, anyone that ever tries to intimidate you, use pain as a form of intimidation, anyone that ever tries to seek out information about you so that they can spread that information, whether it's real information or not, anyone that spreads slander about you or who threatens to do so or threatens your family, and they are supposedly trying to offer you an opportunity, because that's what they tell me all the time. My opportunity was for me to become a police officer. They love to say, all you had to do was become a police officer. And it is the interesting part is, the more I start to do this research into this electronic harassment and gang stalking and stuff, I started learning about body area networks, internet of bodies, just like how there's internet of things, like, cell phones, Bluetooth devices, things of that sort. Internet of bodies, if y'all don't know what that is now, y'all better look into that. Basically, long story short, it's basically when the human body is becoming intertwined with, the internet. It's basically when, is basically when your natural biofrequency is now linked to the internet. And people don't realize, because the human body is loaded with electrical impulses, you carry frequencies that can actually be uploaded to computers and then uploaded into the internet. But a lot of people don't know that. So, but no, the one thing I just gotta put out there though, because it's like, I'm 32 years old. I ain't have a bully or someone just purposely mess with me since I was like, freshman or sophomore year in high school. So I'm still saying to myself, I'm not letting that just start up and just let it go down because, they got numbers. Because it's thousands of them, hundreds, if not thousands of them. And they all over the country. And there's different groups of them who probably have access to the technology, who's manipulating hundreds and thousands of other people. Some people go along with it because they don't want that smoke. They don't want that. They don't want that they don't want to deal with anybody who's going to be coming at them, but they can't come back at them. Nobody wants to deal with something like that. So then there's people like me who, well, for the most part, I normally turn my head and I don't see shit, and I don't know shit, and I don't know whose names, blah blah blah. But this is different though, because it's not like normal bullying where, like, okay, if you know the person, you can go ahead and work that out yourself. You can go ahead and handle that. But when these people are using technology to basically infiltrate my body, my temple, and my mind, and then they're trying to suck the life or dampen my own, like, godlike energy, that's a whole different story. Because it's like it's like when you got that fly in your house and it just keep buzzing by your ear and you can't hit it. You keep swinging at it. You keep swinging at it, but you catching nothing but air, nothing but air, nothing but air. You hear it and you see it every once in a while, but you're trying to hit it, but you can't seem to hit it. That's when I kind of realized, you know what? I want a lot of other TIs to realize you need to refocus your energies. Don't put so much energy into who is doing what, because trust and believe, it's too many of them. It's too many of them. It's a network. You're not going to be, it doesn't make sense to really try to put all your focus and energy on the who part. If you want to smoke them out, you start learning about how they do it and what they're using to do it. You smoke them out that way. I mean, of course, they're gonna increase their attacks. I mean, trust and believe. Once I started learning about the magnetic energy that's being directed, like right, yeah, right here. There's a heat. There's like a beam. It's like literally like it's literally about like it's about this big. It's about this big. And it's directed right at the crown of my head. Now I can't say that it's probably because I always feel it in this one spot. Anyway, it's always in this one spot. This one spot. And it's no matter where I am. It doesn't matter if I'm indoors or outdoors. It's always in this one spot. And then I remember in the very beginning, in like what was it, September or October 2020, whatchamacallit, I remember I was still in panic mode because I didn't know what the hell was going on. And I know through the transmissions they was like, don't move, Chris. Your pineal gland. We trying to do something. Don't move. And all of a sudden I felt this piercing. It was like almost, it felt like somebody took a needle and just stuck it right through like my pineal gland or something like that. And then all of a sudden I just hear them say, your pineal gland is over. And I'm just like, what? And I felt this piercing feeling. And then, I mean, go ahead and I could go into the whole thing about, feeling the burning laser feeling where it was like a very like fine, point. And it was like going across the top, like the lower back part, the back lower end of my skull. And it went straight across, almost kind of like drawn, making like an incision or something in my skull, because it felt like it was in the skull. I tried to feel my hand back there. I didn't feel any marks or anything like that. because I know some TIs, talk about how when they get burnt, they get scabs and stuff like that. So far, I haven't noticed any burn marks on me or anything like that. So they're like the other type of covert. Then they're trying not to leave no type of marks at all. Then I start to feel this weird dripping feeling coming from, behind my head. And when I went to go and touch behind my head, and I'm like, I don't feel anything, but it's like I didn't feel anything to my hand, but there's this weird sensation like something is leaking from the back of my head, which is weird as hell. You know. Then but not for well to fast forward, you know, their whole thing was all I had to do was become a police officer. That's their whole thing. Is all you had to do was become a police officer. And then but the other thing is the why they're doing this. They claim that I talk about people. That's all they say. They never say what I actually said. They just say I talk about people. And I'm like, well, no one ever came and told me anything. I remember when I was in the Bronx, whatchamacallit, when I was living in the Bronx, hell, it's New York City. If you see some shit that look weird, you gonna say something. Whether somebody's around or not. You might say it to yourself, or you might say it out loud and probably think nobody hear you. But that don't mean that, you deserve to get tormented, though. That doesn't mean you deserve to get harassed. If anything, if you got a problem with somebody say, you approach them and you address it like a normal human being. And then, you know what? I'm like watching these TED Talks earlier. It just made me think to myself, because one of the guys said something like, we're coming to a point where somewhere in later in the future, we're going to have this division. There's going to be a division in humanity. And it's going to be something more like you're going to have humans, then you're going to have transhumans. Transhumans are going to be the ones who are already assimilated to the cloud. The transhumans are going to be the ones who are already accustomed to, having technology so intertwined with their minds, their bodies, and their spirits. Me, I don't want to be a part of none of this. Look, now they're attacking my left knee with frequency, directed energy, whichever one. It's probably frequency, because I don't feel like a generated heat coming. Well, it's very slight. So it's like, let's see, try to get that. Okay, so right where. Okay, so when I do this, right at the top knuckle of my middle finger, I could feel like this pressurized heat, right? And then it moves over to the ring. It's kind of like almost encasing all four knuckles. So it's almost like a line going across like this. Usually what they're probably trying to do is destroy the cartilage and the tissue that's in between my knee, well, of course, in my knee joint, because, they want to prevent me from being able to work. They've been, like I tell you, they attack my thyroid, they attack my thyroid. They probably, hit my esophagus as well. And then every once in a while, they'll attack my tonsils. Right now, my right tonsil feeling kind of off. It doesn't feel the same as my left. But I'm already prepared to, acknowledge that my vessel is being attacked by Luciferians. And, God said, we're not meant to be in these bodies forever. We're actually, God, we have a much greater version of ourselves that's within our body. We are so far from our own spirituality that we don't even realize that, we are very, very powerful beings in this universe. But we've become so of the world that we've lost that. That's why we, you know, that's why we've stopped putting so much emphasis into holistic healing and everything that's natural. Now if we're going to try to find ways to heal ourselves, it's either through technology or pharmaceuticals, some type of pill or a needle or whatever the case may be. Not to say that it's all bad, but it's just like, I don't know, we've come so far over the last like probably 15, 20 years from being normal human beings, especially since the invention of the cell phone. The cell phone and I'm not even gonna get into it with the internet, but the cell phone definitely, you know, made us easier to be manipulated. I'm gonna say that. But something else I want to go through. So, oh, right. So let me tell y'all about what blew my mind today, right? So, as I was doing my normal research, trying to find out, whatever I can about directed energy weapons or the manipulation of free flowing particles that are being ionized from, whatever device they're using is probably a satellite. They probably got access to a satellite somewhere. Because, yeah, it makes no sense how there's like this huge, it's a big ass heat thing. It's like just a beam of heat going directly at the crown of my head. And I know that the human electromagnetic field extends at least about 5 feet above the human body, or at least our light. It extends up at least about 5 feet above the human body, but there is so much heat that's, I'm not even sure if it's going down or up. No, it's more like going up. So I think I read it, what is it called, up conversion. It's like yeah, I think it's up conversion. I think it's something along the lines of like being able to when you're extracting energy from something, or when you're extracting frequencies from I forgot, but you could look it up conversion. But they've been attacking my head like crazy today, so my memory recall isn't as good as it should be right now. But yeah, so I was doing some research, and then all of a sudden I came across something called scalar waves. Still don't know too much about it, but there's one website. This guy, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. This guy, Tom. Let me see. Give me a second. Okay. Right. So this website right here, right? Oh, well, it's backwards, but basically scalarlight.com, right? This guy named Tom, starts with a P. Where is it? Let me see. I'm trying to see if I can get it. Yeah, they're jamming. Yeah, you saw that right now, right? Yeah, so they're basically jamming the internet connection. They don't want me to show you this stuff. Tom Palladino. There we go. Tom Palladino. Right. So he is a scalar wave researcher and humanitarian, right? He basically has this like Tesla coil scalar energy machine. I'm not sure what to call it. But this is what he's selling, right? He has found a way to actually harness scalar energy and then use it to heal people, right? But get this. You send him a picture of you, or a picture. It could be a group picture or whatever. This is how they. I had a nice conversation with one of his, I guess, employees or something, on the site, and you send a picture to them, right? He takes this scalar light laser and he scans the picture. Apparently, with the scalar light laser, it can sense the energy that's on the layer of your skin. It can literally read the energy that's on your skin. Your unique like bioenergy that's on your skin. He can scan it, right? And then he can put in whatever instructions for the machine, and it will basically send healing scalar energy to you no matter where you are in the world. And I said, wait. That I was like, wait. You telling me this guy can scan a picture with a device that harnesses scalar energy, scalar light, scalar energy, and he can direct that energy to come and find you wherever you are in this world and basically heal you of whatever it is that you want to be healed from. I said, yo, that's crazy. That's wild. That just blew my mind. I was like, that blew my mind. I said that's one of the most interesting things that I've seen, hell, since finding out about this technology, really. So that was one thing. The second thing, right? The second thing, I was like, it can't get any easier than finding something like this. So I where is then I seen something. I was doing like a search. I don't use Google. Yeah, I use DuckDuckGo. Google is known for basically filtering information that probably that country don't want you to know about, whatever. So I use DuckDuckGo. I found, and it's crazy how recent this thing truly is. I found this patent, right? I found this patent that's basically made. It was issued or published in 2018, right? Now get this. This patent literally explains how a person's cell phone, especially when it's within their vicinity or it's on its person, it can actually gain access to not just your neurological well, they call it system, your neurological system, but you're also your biological system, your body. Because the way they describe it, your neurological system is different from your biological system. And let me see. I am trying to find it so that way I can show you. That way you don't think I'm blowing up my. Let me see. Where did I put it? I thought oh no, I never downloaded it. I just opened it. Okay, so then. All right, so this is what I'll do. Okay, the patent number, if you want to know, is US 10163055. It's called Routing Policies for Biological Hosts. If that don't sound interesting enough to you to want to check that out, routing policies for biological hosts. See, now they're still continuously jamming it, so I'm trying to open it up, but they're trying to prevent me from. Oh, look. Now you see, I have internet access. So you already know. You already know. I have internet access, connected, secure, you know, VPN is on and everything. I mean, hell, I could let me try this. Look, y'all gonna watch me do this too. You know, if I try to change, oh, well, they still mess with that too. So I gotta turn the VPN off. I can't just switch the country when they're messing with the computer. So I have to turn the VPN off. Then come here. Then turn that on like that, right? Okay. Now it's still watching, right? Now if I just try to refresh, one of the first things I know is that basically they hacked the computer, or they basically jam the signal so that you can't connect to the server of the website or whatever other thing that you're trying to use. So if you're also dealing with issues with your phone, they basically jam your phone signal so you can't connect to the server of whatever app you're trying to use or whatever other website you're trying to go on to. So yeah, right. Okay, now let's try this again, right? Clicked on it. All right, now it's coming up. You see this? I can't make this up. You just watched it happen. Now, okay, right. Routing policies for biological hosts. Now, abstract methods, systems, and products provide interfaces between intra-host networks and intra-host and inter-host networks within biological hosts. Neuroregional translations are performed to route communications to and from the biological host. Bioregional translations may also be performed to route communications to and from the biological host. Now, date of the patent, Christmas of 2018. Christmas of 2018, right? Remember, U.S. patent number 10163-055B2, right? Now, and it's a lot of different. Okay, first of all, let's acknowledge this one thing. Applicant that filed, AT&T Intellectual Properties. So it's like you already know. So if anybody who's paying attention to technology, or paying attention to the growing concern of radiation, when you see patents like this, and then you see AT&T or T-Mobile, any of those communications, companies are a part of it, then it's like, okay, something's off. Now I'm gonna scroll down, right? Okay. All right. Now you're probably not going to see it all that clear. So this is figure 1, right? Figure 1 basically shows a woman, right? This is her body, right? And then there's her cell phone. I'm trying to do this all sideways and whatnot. You see neurological signals are from the brain, biological signals from the body, right? The cell phone is the device that actually connects to both. Why? Because cellular phones emit an electromagnetic field which interferes with ours. Our bodies, remember, our bodies are basically like AM FM radio receivers. We basically take in you know data, or we basically take in energy, but not too many of us know how to give out that and how to put that energy out, right? So yeah, whoop, almost dropped my laptop. So now that's the figure, right? Now you see where it says neurological and biological signals go into the phone, then it's transferred to communications network. What does that look like? A cloud. And what do most people always talk about so much when it comes to this, biohacking, transhumanism, and all those other things? The body and mind being uploaded to a cloud. The country of Chile, along with other, countries and governments who created the Neural Rights Initiative. Hopefully that goes full steam ahead. This is what they're talking about. This is exactly what they're talking about. We're not even talking about like Elon Musk's what's that Neuralink device that you put on your head, and it basically reads your it's like an EEG where it basically reads your brain frequencies, and you could play games or probably do whatever other little fun stuff with that device, whatever. But let me just try to see if I'm gonna just read through how they describe what's happening in figure one. Okay. I'm not gonna make this too long. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go through figure one real quick, just to read a few lines, just so you can get the gist of it, right? Now, remember, I've put out articles and studies that show that the cell phone can actually interfere with the brain, especially when you hold the phone up to your head. But it goes way beyond that. Your cell phone can emit a frequency, and then your brain would have no choice but to pick up that frequency. And once your brain picks up that frequency and decodes that frequency and now interprets that frequency as inputted information. Sad part is if someone actually hacked your phone, then they can actually find your resonant frequency and have a direct link to your brain and your body. Now, get this. Now, remember everything I just said. Now, watch this. Figure one is a simplified schematic illustrating an environment in which exemplary embodiments may be implemented. Figure one illustrates a neurological area network and a body area network of a biological host. Neurological area network and a body area of a biological host. Basically talking about your brain and your body of a human, right? The biological host is illustrated as a human woman, but the biological host may be any animal or living organism. Any animal or other living organism. Why? Because all living things, just about everything has a frequency, really, but we're dealing with the living things because living things have a neurological and a biological network, right? Whatever the biological host, science has shown that electrical signals are transmitted throughout the brain and body. Neuroscientists, for example, have shown that neurological signals are transmitted along the neurological area network in the brain. Medical science has also shown that biological signals are transmitted throughout the body of the biological host. The biological signals, for example, are transmitted between the tissue, cells, organs, and nervous system in the biological host. As science continues to advance, the brain can be considered its own separate network, hence the neurological area network that sends and receives the neurological signals. The body, too, may be considered its own separate body area network that sends and receives the biological signals. Exemplary embodiments provide an interface between these separate networks. The interface is illustrated as a communications device, hence a smartphone. Oh, this makes me miss 2016 when I decided not to buy another smartphone. I was rocking a flip phone for like 2 years cuz I was just happy not to have to worry about answering emails and stuff. Oh, you know, the interface though may be any processor control device, as later paragraphs will explain. As the woman carries, wears, or uses the communications device, the communications device communicates with the neurological area network and the body area network, which means your phone, when it's in your vicinity, it's always basically connected to you. Your phone is literally connected to you. Now, just keep listening, right? Okay. That is the communications device is capable of receiving and interpreting the neurological signals that are transmitted from or along the neurological area network in the woman's brain. The communications device is also capable of receiving and interpreting the biological signals that are transmitted from or along the woman's body area network. Remember, I'm reading this off of a patent. This is an official U.S. patent. Look, I'm not making this stuff up. I'm really not. The communications device thus provides the interface between these two separate networks. Exemplary embodiments, however, also interface with an external communications network. As most readers know, the communications device also communicates with a wireless network, such as a cellular network and or a Wi-Fi network. The communications device may wirelessly send signals to and wirelessly receive signals from the communications network. Web pages, music, movies, and any other data may be routed to the woman's communications device. So, as the woman carries her communications device, she can send and receive data. Exemplary embodiments thus provide the interface between the different networks. The communications device may receive the neurological signals from the neurological area network in the woman's brain. The communications device may then forward or route those neurological signals to the external communications network. The woman's neurological signals may thus be transmitted and sent to a cellular data network and or a Wi-Fi network for routing to some distant destination for analysis. Come on, man. Look, and that I just got chills and just as I got chilled and as I finished that sentence, they tried to shoot me dead in my skull just now. Yo, I kid you not, I can't make this up. Okay, almost there, because this video is getting long. The woman's communications device may also, read that part. The communications device likewise may receive the biological signals from the body area network and send those biological signals into the external communications network. The woman's communications device may also receive signals from the external communications network that are destined for her body area network. Ooh, let me read that again. The woman's communications device may also receive signals from the external communications network that are destined for her body area network. Exemplary embodiments thus provide the interface between the neurological area network in the woman's brain, the body area network in the woman's body, and the external communications network. Exemplary embodiments also describe nested communications. The neurological area network, the body area network, and the external communication network may have a nested arrangement based on frequency. Whoa. Indeed, the brain's frequency may be much too high for economical transmission into the external communications network. The biological signals in the body area network are a lower frequency, but the biological signals may still be of too high frequency for the external communications network. The woman's communication device then may transform the neurological signals and or the biological signals to be compatible with the external communications network. This literally just told me and you that our cell phones are capable of hacking our body. Now get this, if our cell phones can actually hack our body, what happens if someone hacks our cell phone? What do you think happens to a person if your device can hack your body, right? But then if someone has a problem with you, right? And they hack your cell phone, knowing that you always have your cell phone on you, what do you think they can probably do to you if they can hack your cell phone? Now they have your body. This is what we call electronic harassment. It took me, what is this, November? Mine started back in the Bronx, September 2020. That's when I first started. That's when I first got the V2K transmissions. That's when I first started getting it. When when the people out there was all like, oh, we gonna shoot you in your sleep, while I was, in my house by myself watching a movie. We gonna shoot you in your sleep. You was talking about people, blah blah blah. You was snitched, da da da. And I'm like, first of all, I don't even know that many people out here. Second of all, I don't be paying no attention to nobody out here for me to even care to want to even snitch on anybody. Third of all, if I ain't never snitched on nobody in my entire life before I moved out here, why would I snitch on people now? So then now, and then their whole thing was like because I went to 3 hospitals. I went to 3 different hospitals, thinking that somebody was going to be able to help me in one of them. No. Well, you know what? Not everyone in the staff is a part of the secret society. I've learned that part. If you're an empath, you could basically feel the vibes of a person who probably isn't a good person. But for the most part, yeah, it's crazy when I think about it. Do you know how many decades stuff like this has been going on? But now with technology advancing so much, it just becomes easier. Before we used to say, oh, the government with MK Ultra and stuff like that. Nah, the government I think the government done, what's the words I'm looking for? I think they done contracted the MK Ultra out to different groups of people all throughout the country and was like, here, you take this and you govern these people over here. Now the sad part is these are some very immoral people, unethical at that. unethical and immoral. You know, because I mean, how you gonna say you offering me an opportunity, but you're trying to you? How you trying to say that you're offering me an opportunity, but the first thing you did when you tried to so-called introduce yourself to me or introduce the secret society to me was to scare me and say you was going to shoot me in my sleep, knowing I live by myself in a neighborhood where I don't really know anybody. And then shit, I remember deleting that damn Citizen app because it felt that notifications was going off like crazy. So I said I had to get rid of it because I was like, I already know New York is wilding, but I don't need a notification for every time, something happens. So but anyway, yeah. So boom, right there in black and white. And I'm just like, and it dawned on me too. It hit me like out of nowhere. I was like, yo, I remember when I got offered the apartment, to go and live out there. I was like, yo, I'm so excited. It's going to be my first apartment, blah, blah, blah. But then I remember, seeing how much they was trying to offer, how much they was offering the apartment for. It was like 12, basically 12.52 a month. And I originally said, no, it's too much, at least for the at the moment, because, I didn't think even I didn't think with the two jobs I had, it would be enough. But, I mean, well, hell, I lived there for 2 years, so obviously I made it work. But yeah, I tried to say no, but the guy, hell, even though he was hitting on me during the whole interview process, the guy, he was like, oh, no, you make enough money, da da da, you can afford it, you never know, you might even get a raise, blah blah blah. I remember asking one of my managers at my full-time job, I was like, hey, do you think I should take this apartment? Do you think I can afford enough, afford it, blah blah blah. And she was like, yeah, I think you can. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll do it. So then now I took the I took the I took the apartment. And then fast forward to today, right? It's a brand new building. Um they had like built-in air conditioners and two elevators and had an Amazon locker box, even though I didn't really use it. The laundry room. It was a nice building. I mean, brand new building. Smart meter, smart energy meter and all that. And then all of a sudden, I'm watching this TED talk from I think it said like 5 years ago. And this guy, he was I think it was called it was called the wireless wake up call. The wireless wake up call. And this guy, he's like going on about how basically, he began to, get sick because he realized he went full blown into the whole, get IoT, smart everything in his house. And then, eventually he realized him and his family started to become sick because they were exposing themselves to too much electromagnetic fields that weren't natural. All this technology that we keep surrounding. It's so the electricity enough is already enough, EMF radiation and pollution that our bodies are taking in. But when you throw in something that requires even more electricity or more energy production, Wi-Fi and everything operates on Wi-Fi. Your front door operates on Wi-Fi. Everything is connected to your phone, and we're basically drowning ourselves in radiation. And we don't realize that all of these things give us so many symptoms of radiation poisoning, everything from insomnia, loss of appetite, headaches, um, heart palpitations, you know, nervous system, central nervous system issues, you know, digestive system issues, problems with our hormones. There's a number of different things that are going wrong because we're drowned in radiation. And then when you got Wi-Fi everywhere, just like how like New York City has like optimum Wi-Fi and all those other free Wi-Fi's everywhere, we're basically killing ourselves slowly and we don't even realize it. Then, you know, if for anything else, I was just like, yo, when he started going into the details about, his, experiences and whatnot, I started thinking to myself and I was like, damn. I mean, I was really trying to turn that apartment down, but the guy was just so adamant about me taking that apartment. He was just so adamant about it. I mean, he was like really trying to push me to get this apartment. I was like, what? I'm like, I was like, because I was like, this is a lottery apartment, so I don't think, are you really getting anything out of this? But then it started to dawn on me. I was just like, yo, what if that whole move was a setup to begin with? Just to get me within the vicinity of that building and have me in that building so then they can heterodyne me every single night, finding my resonant frequency so then they can be able to have a permanent lock on me. Because no matter where I go, they got a lock on me. Yeah, so now I'm just feeling where the beam is at. Is Yeah, it's still right at the crown of my head. I think they basically have like they have my pineal gland on lock. So I think what I probably need to do is just do like some type of like detox on my pineal gland. Maybe I can do something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to make sure I got this out because, to tell you the truth, I have no idea how long I have to live or how long I have, my functioning brain the way I have right now. The most I can do is keep using my healing frequencies. They're radiating me. My bed is loaded with radiation because they're constantly hitting my bed with radiation. And then the metal coils in the mattress, it retains that radiation. So every day when I lay down on this bed, I'm vibrating. My whole body vibrates. Some would say, won't you sleep on the floor? I mean, you only could sleep on the floor but so many days. So eventually you're gonna want to sleep on your bed. You know. And then they're like, oh, see, you snitching on everybody. You don't realize you snitching on everybody. You snitching on everybody. You don't realize you messing with people's livelihoods. And I'm like, first of all, I never asked to know any of this shit. I never asked to know none of this shit. Second of all, I ain't do nothing to you. Third of all, I never wanted to know nothing about this technology. Fourth, if you had a problem with me, you should have just came and told me. And then fifth, how you gonna say you're trying to offer me an opportunity by forcing me to become a cop? That's not offering. That's extortion. that's coercion. Or I don't even know what to really call that. But no. And then they're like, oh, see, now the goons watching you. And I'm like, look, I grew up in hoods all my life. Shit. I can't walk this. I ain't never walked a day in this. I ain't never walked a day in my life not thinking that one day somebody might just try to rob me, stab me, shoot me, whatever the case may be. Hell, somebody might just be looking for a come up and they gang or whatever, and somebody just probably told them, yo, you gotta catch a body. you know. But I can't think about that stuff. That's how you live your life in fear. That's how you let fear cripple you. Fear is a part of life. Let's just all acknowledge that. Fear is a part of life. But what it is how you react to it. You know, you're not supposed to fear death. Death comes for everyone. Death has no date. It has, well, it technically does have a date, but you would never know. You know, and for the most part, um, yeah, I refuse to live my life in fear. Or at least I refuse to let it debilitate me, you know. And then they're like, "Oh, see, now he got to go to prison because he's snitching on people, blah blah blah," and I'm like, I don't know what they're gonna try to put me in prison for, um, because I'm gonna say this out loud. I'm gonna say this now. The only thing that they probably have is because I couldn't file my 2020 taxes. I was trying to file my taxes um earlier this year, and I've been doing it myself for the last like 3-4 years. And for whatever reason, every time I try to click submit, I would always get like a server. It would be like server not responding, whatever. And then I tried to take my same data and apply it, to a different um, tax filing website or whatever. And it was like, oh, the error message I got on that was saying, oh, you're I think it says something along the lines that your information is already being used, something like that or whatever. So I was just like, damn. So I'm trying to figure out how the hell can I file my taxes. Cause I'm like, I don't really want to pay nobody to file. Cause I mean, all I had was a couple of pay stubs and not pay stubs. All I had was a couple of W-2s and one. All I had was a couple of W-2s. I was like, I don't need to pay somebody for that. Lo and behold, here it is. So basically they hacked me out of being able to file my own taxes. They basically jammed the signal so that I could not connect to any of the servers of the tax filing sites and TurboTax and H&R Block. I tried to use both, and they basically prevented me from being able to submit it. So now I'm thinking, well, hell, as next tax season come around, I'm gonna just have to go ahead and go for the gusto and try to hope that I don't get like a gang stalking tax preparer and see if they could help me fix my situation, But yeah. Anyway, like I said, apparently everybody knows about me. Well, obviously, I'm posting on YouTube and Facebook, so they keep telling me like, "Oh, everybody knows you snitching on every." I'm like, yeah, because I'm talking about the shit publicly because I'm not hiding. I don't have nothing to hide. I never did have anything to hide. So all I'm basically doing is making sure that if something happens to me, it's not going to be a mystery. It's not going to be a mystery. Y'all might get away with doing whatever y'all doing to me for now. I might not even make it tomorrow morning. Who knows? That's up to God, really. That's up to God, really. You know. And I don't get mad and ask why this had to happen to me. I know that some of the most greatest people in the world had to come across a pretty effed up side of humanity that basically took them out. But they did some great things before they got taken out. So I feel like, you know what? I must be about to hit that breakthrough, and I'm about to break through like a wrecking ball. Cause the speed that I found out about all this technology stuff, the speed and the rate compared to some people who've been tortured and stuff for years and knew nothing about what was happening to them. This is all an act of God right here. This is all an act of God. So I'm just like, yeah, give God all the glory. Give God all the glory. And hallelujah anyway. All right, y'all. I'm off. Just wanted to put that out there. I was like, look, I'm not gonna let them Myron May and Aaron Alexis me. Nope. And I'm not gonna let them have me out here panicking for my life and thinking I need to go and create a situation so that the cops would kill me, so then I won't feel like I have to kill myself. I'm not doing that to myself. No. God is either going to let you take me out, or I'm going to die, or I'm going to die on my own, you know, or they probably going to find a way to put me in jail or something, then probably hire someone to probably kill me in jail. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, like I said, target individual, CJBK, aka Chris James. I'm here. I don't hide. I don't got nothing to hide. They know what time I go to work. They know the exact streets I walk down. They know it's dark in Canarsie. They know I ain't hiding nowhere. They know exactly where I work. They know they know I do deliveries. They know they should know everything about me. But at the end of the day, look, I can't live my life in fear, and I'm not going to live my life like everybody else who's moving scary, like because people using technology against them and they don't want the smoke. Nah. And I'm like, no, I'm not letting nobody tell me what to do with my life that I haven't decided to do myself. I'm not a prisoner. And they're like, he don't realize he's property of New York State. I'm like, God. I just say God. That's it. Jesus. Look, and I always try to keep this in mind. I forgot where in the book of John. I forgot where in the book of John it says it, but Jesus said, "Did not the world hate me before it hated you?" And I'm like, you know what, Jesus, you're right. The world crucified you and watched you die. And then they all stood by, threw rocks at you, believed in the slander. They all did all the same stuff to Jesus. Jesus was probably the first one to be gang stalked. I'm going to just put it that way. I think Jesus was the first targeted individual. Jesus Christ was the first targeted individual. I'm starting to believe that now. Jesus Christ was the first targeted individual. And now they're coming after everyone that doesn't move like them. They're basically, nah, I ain't gonna say that, but they're basically the ones that killed Jesus. They're basically the people that killed Jesus. Just passed down from generation to generation. I'm not calling myself Jesus, but I ain't no bad person though. I'm not a bad person. I'm not an evil person. I'm not a violent person. I'm not a overly sexual person. I'm not a disrespectful person. Because if that was the case, I would have drama all throughout my life. But apparently that isn't my life. But they found a way to turn just about almost everybody against me. So at this point, I've kind of already come to the understanding that, okay, if you're not a TI, or you don't understand or know or want to understand what we are going through, then you're with them, and you know what, God also said, those who have eyes will see, and those who have ears will hear. But if you are too of the world, and you have basically took God out of your life, you are not going to be blessed with the type of, blessings that, we're going to be blessed with. We're being persecuted for being righteous. That's basically it. We're being persecuted for being righteous. And it is what it is, though. It is what it is. So yeah, remember, as always, take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace. I try to blow my hair out a little bit, but I forgot to put my shea butter in it so it looked bigger, but it's fine. I'm about to go to sleep anyway.